Episode 234, the 80-20 rule of sharing problems.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And it is Thursday in the very best podcast in the world land. Welcome to the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and also happiness, or mainly happiness. There we go. This episode is about the whiners and dedicated to those whinging people who have nothing to do but whine, cry, and, be in a bad mood all day because life is so unjust to them and treats them so badly and so on and so forth. And this episode is dedicated to you folks. And hopefully you may get out of it that you should snap out of that mindset because otherwise you ain't going forward. So that being said, housekeeping. Item number 1, sharing is caring. If you know one of these negative Nancys, make sure to directly send this episode to them. Wink. Otherwise, please share all of this content every single day, except for the 2 days that I missed in the past year. This week, go back one episode, listen to it, why that happened and how that was even possible. And I am still sorry, and I'll make it up. That being said, item number 2, thoughts are my own, yada, yada, doesn't reflect any views, blah. Item number 3, still in work, construction, remodeling mode. Therefore, things could become interesting time-wise. That's why the episodes are going to be a bit shorter. / kill housekeeping, I think. That was the command. Jesus. Been a long time of code monkey work. Now, how did I get to this episode? Well, what we're having in Germany, particularly right now, is that a lot of things are going south. There are, several COVID-related things that are going downhill. The statistic fuckery is not working out anymore. Nobody's buying it anymore. The vaccination of kids, which now is supposed to start, has created a major shitstorm. The operation in Afghanistan, which was a, failure. Surprise, surprise. I think, was it Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan who failed first? And since everyone has, and now all of a sudden, as if nobody paid attention in history where, the West is failing again. Afghanistan is a place where empires go to die. So let's see where that is going to end up. Anyhow, all of these negative things, which are, primarily and constantly pushed into our focus by not only the major and credible news or, quote unquote, credible news outlets anymore, but also by alternative media. We're constantly and permanently being reminded, about everything that is going south. And that is what I meant with whining, right? Like I said, solution-oriented would have been to not, get our fingers under the skirt of Afghanistan. It just doesn't work. The country is not something that you can get a hold of. In more recent history, the Soviet Union has shown us very bloodily, if that is even a word, that doesn't work out. So, solution-oriented thinking would be to go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to change something in the world. And yes, that is also directed to you. Politics can only work if you are in the process of strengthening democracy. or, whichever state system you were, born into and subjected to. It only works if you participate as the people. And that doesn't mean watching Netflix. That means going to town halls, confronting your mayor or governor or president or, whatever, with all of the things that are going on. Otherwise, they do not know. And keep on asking questions. You're the citizen. You're the people. You are, the people who are supposed to make a difference. And yes, I am deliberately saying that in that way, but it's also to encourage your fellow citizens to participate in the process. That's the way democracies work. And if you, spend your time binging Netflix or, going to the gym or, whatever you do all day, this whole concept cannot work out. So, discussing it in the pub or, in the gym or wherever you hang out with your friends, ain't gonna move shit. Right? That's just not how it works. And, the more people are involved, the more vibrant the democracy that you are living in perhaps is, and that's just the secret of it. Look up in the history books. You will find interesting things where, things haven't gone south that bad as they have in the Western world of today. So anyhow, how did I get to this episode? Right. There's an 80-20 rule of, sharing your problems. 80% of the people you share your problems with don't give a fuck. They don't care. That's just it. 20% of the people are glad that you have them, right? Because, that's going to set you back in a sense of competition. Plus, you're going to be in a mindset permanently where you feel left behind, you feel disenfranchised, you feel, whatever you feel, right? Whatever keeps your negative mindset going, that's where you're going to be. That's where you're going to stay. So, am I saying you should not, do anything about your problems? You should just live with them? No. Act upon them. And acting upon them means finding a solution. Number one, I think we went over, don't look at them as problems. Look at them as challenges, because challenges are there to be overcome, right? So it's the remapping, it's the reframing of how you approach challenges, which are, inevitably going to be put towards you in life. We did a dedicated episode about that. Look back in the logs. You will find it. You will find how to change your mindset from seeing challenges as problems, right? Because that's not what they are. They're challenges. It's that simple. And that's really the point that I'm trying to make with this episode, right? There's always this famous great saying somewhere, probably of devious folklore, that you shouldn't worry about things you cannot change. Well, yeah, right. But you can change a certain aspect of it. You can help shape and form the government, right? You can involve, you can get involved, and your voice can be heard other than in the ballot box. That's the stupidest excuse for people to think that they're changing anything, right? Every 4 or 5 or whatever your term period is, you go to the ballot box, you mark somebody and then you put it in the box, and magically everything that you want is no. How? How is it going to happen? And what's going to change if you put one clown in the government and then, 4 years later, the next clown comes in? There is nothing going to change. Nothing's going to change, right? Period. So, if you want to change, get involved yourself, right? Go to the town halls, push the people, right? The people, the elected officials, push them hard. Ask questions which are going to be uncomfortable for them, right? And make sure that you write, that you blog, that you podcast about your experiences and what you're doing to change things. And then only then, that's the correct formulation, is change going to be possible. If you get yourself, and if you get your surroundings involved in politics, going to those town hall meetings and actually changing, asking uncomfortable questions, putting the elected officials against the wall, pushing them really hard, then you're going to achieve change. That's what we did back in the day when we had time, which we don't have anymore. Well, a lot of my friends got scattered around the globe, not by bombs or anything, but by choice. And I hope they're doing the same thing there. But back in the day, we would just, as early twins, we would show up there with 20, 30, young adults, just looking to pick a fight with our elected officials. We asked questions. Hey, what have you done from your promises? We're 3 years into your term. Any changes? And then you get this uncomfortable feeling, and particularly the young generation should be educated to actually change from the inside. So that being said, we're running out of time a bit, so it's long. It's going to be a long day, and we're going to cut it short here. Have a nice rest of your Thursday. Make the change. If you've already had your Thursday, have a good night. Leave your hands above the blanket. We're going to be in touch tomorrow for Exercise Friday. Peace out, folks.